FCS Championship. Last week, the Illinois State Redbirds ran through the inferno in eastern Washington en route to the FCS semifinals. Today, they arrive on the opposite side of our great nation and have to endure the dungeon and its keepers, the New Hampshire Wildcats. The winner gets a trip to Frisco, Texas, and a shot at the national championship. Welcome to the NCAA FCS Championship Semifinal presented by Northwestern Mutual. They call it the Dungeon. Cowell Stadium in Durham, New Hampshire, the setting for today's national semi. The co-champions of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, Illinois State, in town to take on the Wildcats of New Hampshire. 3 weeks ago, we started with 24 teams. We are down to one remaining spot. The winner marches into Frisco, Texas, January 10th to try to dethrone three-time defending champion North Dakota State. And with that, welcome Sean Kinney alongside former NFL quarterback Jay Walker. Great to have you with us. 2014 was a record-setting year for both of these programs, and we still have more football to play. New Hampshire's back in the semis for the second straight year after losing to North Dakota State. And ironically, they have to get by another Missouri Valley football foe.
Well, that's what they say the Missouri Valley Conference does. It gets you prepared for the postseason, and they're a fantastic football team that's coming here to Illinois State. When you take a look at New Hampshire, they've been the number one team throughout the regular season for the latter part of the year, playing football at a very high level. But the guys from Illinois State, they come in here, they think they can win, coming off an impressive victory a week ago when they knocked off a very talented Eastern Washington football team. This is going to make for a fantastic football game for the final spot in the championship playoff. 12
is the magic number for both of these programs. The 12 wins, both program highs. Illinois State, semifinalists for the second time. You have to go all the way back to 1999, while New Hampshire, as Jay mentioned, they were this close last year, and they're hoping to learn from their loss a season ago to North Dakota State. These two teams feature dynamic offenses, and what makes this great game interesting, they do it in different ways. Illinois State will grind it out, and they have one of the nation's best running backs.
Marshawn Coppert is fantastic. The junior's having a breakout season. Last week he rushed for over 250 yards versus Eastern Washington. This season alone, he's rushed for over 2,000 yards and 26 touchdowns. He's the guy that's a game-breaking type of talent. If you're going to have any chance of slowing down the Redbirds, it starts with tackling Marshawn Coppert. Talk about star power, though. How about R.J. Harris, the dynamic senior wide receiver who will leave his career as one of the best wide receivers in the history of FCS football. Coming off last week's performance versus Chattanooga, where he had 172 yards in receptions. Look for him to continue those ways as he tries to help lead the Wildcats to the championship game.
What a job Brock Spack has done in Normal, Illinois. The Rockford, Illinois native, 1984 graduate of Purdue, longtime assistant to Joe Tiller, has brought winning football back to Illinois State. 5 winning campaigns in his 6 years in Normal. On the other side, you're looking at this year's Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year winner, Sean McDonald. You talk about tenure here at New Hampshire. His 16th year, 11th consecutive playoff trip for the Wildcats, and they absolutely love him here in Durham.
He's a mainstay, just like postseason appearances. This is a program that expects to win, but the one thing that's missing from their historic program is a championship. In order to win a championship, you must make it to the championship game in Frisco, Texas. They have to win today's football game if they want to make their dreams come true.
Both these teams at 12-1, and you look at Illinois State, they have not trailed in the postseason. A convincing second-round win against UNI, a Missouri Valley Football Conference opponent, and then last week they jumped out early on Eastern Washington.
And that was on the road in the Inferno. It's a very tough place to win a football game. I think the good thing about Illinois State, the team that beat them during the year, Northern Iowa, they handled them dominantly in the postseason. That lets you know what a high-level football Illinois State's playing right now.
12 straight wins for the Wildcats. Their only blemish, week 1 against Toledo. Since that moment, since that point, this team has been rolling with one thing in mind.
Championship, and it's all started for them This is a team that is deep in senior leadership, which you don't see around the country, most programs. They have 20 seniors that are impact players on this team. Everybody that makes a play as a senior. This group has gelled together after having a rough season. A season ago, it all came together for Coach McDonald's squad this year.
New Hampshire won the toss. They deferred, so Illinois State will get the football first. Great atmosphere here in Durham, New Hampshire as we get set to go. One ticket left to be punched for Frisco, Texas. Last night we saw North Dakota State for the 4th straight year move into the national final. Who will it be? Illinois State or New Hampshire? And we are underway. Shallow end-over-end kick, corralled at the 20 and taking it out near the 30-yard line. And good starting position for the Redbirds, and it all starts at quarterback with Trey Roberson. The Indiana transfer has found a home at Normal.
And the reason why they're playing so well, they advanced this far, is because of his progression as a quarterback, understanding the system. He's become an impact player, one of the best quarterbacks in all FCS football. He leads a passing attack that is 3rd in the country in pass efficiency. He's not just a runner, and he's not what you call your typical dual-threat quarterback. He is a passer that can run the football extremely well.
6 touchdowns, no interceptions in the 2 playoff games for this Illinois State offense. The Redbirds from the 30. Roberson is going to throw. Nobody open downfield. You see some of his athleticism right out of the gate there as he scrambles for 3.
Similar game plan that offensive coordinator Kurt Beathard used versus Eastern Washington. You know Coppers is going to get his carries, and he's going to be the reason they win or lose the football game. But you can't come out and just give him the ball right away. Try and come out with some bootleg play-action passes, establish Trey Roberson's arm in order to increase the size of the running lanes for Marshawn Copridge.
Roberson will keep it, getting to the outside, and he'll pick up the first down. So Trey Roberson gallops for 12 yards and a first down for Illinois State.
And watch the ball handling skills. As a quarterback, it's your responsibility to snatch the ball out of the belly of Coppers. Coppers thinks he's going to get the football. Great recognition by Roberson to call his own number and pick up the first down for the Redbirds.
You see what Roberson has done with his feet this year, and he did that for a couple of years at Indiana. Dual threat quarterback, and what a year he has enjoyed. A draw all the way, and not much this time. New Hampshire able to sniff it out. It's Akeel Anderson, the linebacker, in on the stop.
Great job by the leading tackler for New Hampshire. Great job coming up, recognition on the quarterback, and make the open field tackle on a very athletic quarterback in Roberson. Not an easy play, but Anderson up to the task.
These 2 linebackers for the Wildcats, Anderson and Shane McNeely, the top 2 tacklers. Very aggressive defense. They're going to need that today. Slow down this high-powered offense. 2nd and 10, Roberson to the air for the first time, and he's right on target. This will set up a 3rd and short as Lasheen Neblett holds it in. Who's going to have to step up today for Illinois State on offense?
Cameron Meredith is the go-to target for Trey Roberson. He's got great hands, good size. They're going to need him to help in the passing game. And Daniel Rowe, the strong safety, one of the leading tacklers for this Wildcat defense, he's going to have to make tackles in open space from the secondary position. He's going to be challenged tremendously by Illinois State. He has to have a good football game for the Wildcats.
Both these teams are 2 of the best in the country on 3rd down percentage. Illinois State 46% on the season. Roberson's going to throw, deep ball, Neblett one-on-one coverage, and it's tipped away, incomplete. They had the coverage they wanted. Moss with the deflection.
Looked like a lot of contact, but maybe that's an early indication of the officials going to let him play. See, Roberson not afraid to go up top. He's trying to come back, get the ball. They did not call it. Actually seemed as if Moss was in no man's land, didn't know where the football was.
Moss, the junior from Huntsville, Alabama. And Illinois State forced a punt. C.J. Laros thought long and hard about packing his bag heading to the Northeast this week. Did not use him once last week in Cheney, Washington. We mentioned the two quarterbacks. Sean Goldrich is one of those guys that has bounced back from injuries. It's been him and Andy Bayless the past 3 years. Goldrich was injured for 5 games, has bounced back, and he's one of those guys that lives with that right arm.
Nice arm, 64% completion percentage on the season. More athletic than you would think. Very capable of running the football. 8 rushing touchdowns on the season.
From the 15-yard line, and the first give of the game is to Storetti, and he is swallowed up. Get used to Mike Banks. Not a big guy, but this guy for football IQ is big as they come.
He does. He's got a great football IQ and tremendous heart. If you're going to play cornerback, you have to come up and fill the run. Nice open field tackle on Storetti. Mike Banks, what he lacks in size, he makes up for in determination.
Banks making his 49th start. Senior who has been a staple in the back end of this Redbird secondary. Goldrich on a little shovel, and Storetti makes the catch, but not much. He gets 5. We're going to see a few tricks today throughout the course of this football game. That has kind of become the identity for New Hampshire.
They're trying to go with the middle screen, which you rarely see. Just a little middle screen to Storetti, try to see if he can create in between the tackles. When you talk about the trick plays, it's something that New Hampshire does a staple of, so they don't necessarily call them trick plays. They just call them several of their offensive plays. It's going to be important for Illinois State to recognize when they're being attacked or trying to be tricked.
It's part of their arsenal. Illinois State rushes forward, good time, and it's tipped away, incomplete. They were looking for R.J. Harris, and a 3-and-out for the Wildcats. Brad Praske, who was instrumental in the win last week against Chattanooga. New Hampshire dominated the field position, and that was a big reason for their victory in last week's quarterfinal. Chattanooga's average starting field position was the 18 because of the placement in the punting game by Praske. Neblett with a fair catch at the 49. Good starting shape for Illinois State when we come back to Durham.
2014 NCAA FCS Football Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual, proud to be an official corporate partner of the NCAA.
So much history in this part of the country, and look at the University of New Hampshire. New Hampshire Hall, located on the center of campus. A lot of blue around town. They love their football team, and they're hoping this is the year that they can get into the national championship. Illinois State begins from the Wildcat 49. Roberson throws a dart, and there is Cameron Meredith. And this guy has been on a roll in the second half of the year.
Really stepped it up. A former quarterback that's moved to wide receiver. His second full year as a wide receiver. 6'3", 200 pounds. Catches everything with his hands. Has one of the best sets of hands you'll see in all of college football. Makes the difficult catch look easy. Really starting to emerge and feel comfortable as a playmaking wide receiver.
Meredith with 4 100-yard games in his last 5. It was snapped last week on the road at Cheney. Option look as they get it to Coppridge. Running to the wide side. Check out, that's John Mark Anderson coming around, the freshman. This Illinois State team able to beat UNI, the only team that knocked them off during the course of the year. And then last week, they jumped out early and never looked back as they held off an Eastern Washington rally late.
In a game in which they never punted, shows how efficient the offense was. This is the offense that when they drop back to pass, they got bad intentions. And when they start running the ball with Coppridge, very tough to bring down.
Quick hitch, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Armand and Kaplan both in the vicinity as they were looking for the quick throw out to the flat.
Quarterback takes a quick setup. You're taught to leave your feet. Good job of elevating, bat down that pass. Casey Andrade. Fantastic job on a corner blitz, realizing he wasn't going to get to the quarterback in time and batting the ball up.
Coppridge yet to touch the football for Illinois State. Let's see if they call his number here on 3rd and short. Option look. Roberson will keep it. He'll duck ahead and move the chains.
It really lets you know the confidence they have in their offensive play selection. Coppers, their leading rusher, yet to touch the football, but reading the keys, not going to force feed the ball to Coppers, taking what the defense gives them or allows them to do, and they're inside the red zone.
Yeah, middle of the pack this year for Illinois State. Second drive for the Redbirds. They've taken it. Full advantage of the short field as Coppridge with his first touch doesn't get much. 2, maybe 3 over the left side.
And one thing that really impresses you about Illinois State, anytime you have a running back that rushes for 2,000 yards in a season, they run the football extremely well, but they throw the ball for 223 yards per game. So they average 244 rushing, 223 passing. That's versatility. That's a balanced offense, and that's what really makes defense in this football team very tough to do, because they can beat you in the air and they can beat you running the football as well.
Meredith in motion, 2nd down and 8. Roberson floats, looking for Meredith, incomplete. Daniel Rowe with the coverage. A marker is down near the line of scrimmage. Going to have illegal motion here on the Redbirds.
Illegal motion, 19,
Matt Young, our referee. It's an Ohio Valley Conference crew this afternoon.
Meredith goes across and gets moving towards the line of scrimmage. Just a hair. Touchdown would have come back anyway. Really like to isolate Meredith one-on-one here at the bottom of your screen. You got one-on-one coverage at the bottom.
New Hampshire rushes the linebackers, and Coppridge is swallowed up. Back at the 16, Matt Kaplan, the first one to knife his way through.
Fantastic job by Kaplan. They're going to overload the left side, not being fooled. He's going to just shoot the gap from in here, his interior defensive position. You see him giving them different looks. Stunt comes across, and he makes the tackle. Really trying to cause confusion on the offensive line of Illinois State.
Nick Ausicker, the school's all-time leading scorer, from 33 yards. Placement down, kick on the way, and he drills it. So Illinois State takes advantage of the field position. Ausicker gives the Redbirds the early lead. Illinois State with an early 3-0 lead over New Hampshire in this FCS semifinal. College hoops, Washington's defensive beast Robert Upshaw leads the undefeated Huskies against slick shooter Buddy Hield and the Sooners at the MGM Showcase. Number 15 Oklahoma, number 16 Washington tonight, 9 o'clock on ESPNU, part of Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers. A good look inside the home of the Wildcat Hoops. Most places on top is a normal roof and ceiling. On top of the gymnasium here is where the New Hampshire coaches take their perch each and every Saturday.
They're trying to get as high vertically as they can so they can look down on the field. But interesting perspective. It's almost like they carved out the windows in the middle of all that masonry brick around there.
Knocked out a few bricks, put in a couple of windows. Whatever they've done through the years, a lot of offensive yards and points have been culled from those 3 windows through the years.
And the coaches don't even come into the stadium.
No.
They enter through the gymnasium.
Little shallow squib kick as Illinois State tried to catch New Hampshire napping.
That should be a penalty. I'm pretty sure he signaled for a fair catch, and he was still hit anyway.
Caught by number 57, Kevin McNally. First down, New Hampshire.
That was Kevin McNally, a heads-up play by one of the blockers to keep an eye on the football. And as Jay mentioned, it looked like he did signal for a fair catch. Just a bizarre-looking kick there from Ausicker.
And one of the things that Illinois State does, they rarely kick the ball deep. They respect the other team's return game so much.
Unnecessary roughness.
You'll see this is the call that's coming up. It's going to be a quick motion, but you don't have a lot of time to react. So coming from the right of your screen, hands up right there, that's the fair catch call. And it's your responsibility. If you're going to try that type of pooch kick, you have to look to see if fair catch is called for and not hit. Instead, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, giving the Wildcats great field position to start this drive.
McNally is a familiar name for New Hampshire fans. His older brother, Brian, was a standout defensive end here a few years back, 08 through 11. And smart play made by the young sophomore, Kevin McNally. He gives the Wildcats great starting shape at the Redbird 42. Goldrich on the fake jet sweep, being chased, throws, and connects near the first down marker on the far sideline. Giansanti with the catch.
The defensive line for Illinois State, very aggressive. They don't fall for the jet sweep, and you'll see a good throw by Goldrich getting rid of this football just before David Perkins can get to him. Nice route, nice timing coming out of the break. That's how you draw it up.
Giansanti cutting the route off right in front of Josh Birch. 2nd and 2. Goldrich, a quick throw, and again, right on cue, first down yardage. And for the first time, it's R.J. Harris. This time we've called his name as we take at one of Harris's teammates. You think Spears has to have a big day today?
He is, because R.J. Harris is going to take care of the outside passing game, and the biggest threat to a defense is the inside passing game. Harold Spears, a tight end, second leading receiver, has to step up, and David Perkins is just a flat-out freak on the defensive line for Illinois State. 12 tackles for loss on the season and a number of sacks.
Goldrich on the move, throws low, and it's incomplete. Allison tried to scoop it up.
If you're rolling to your left, really important that you keep your shoulders in front of you. Anytime those hips start to take the lead, you lose your accuracy in there. Ball clearly skips on the ground. Good job by the receiver trying to fake it, but the official wasn't fooled.
Second down give. This is Storetti over the right side. Look at him go as he bangs off would-be defenders. Storetti gets 9 yards after contact for the hard-nosed senior.
Yeah, well, you know how the coaches describe him? He's a Jersey guy. That's what he said. That's what I can say about it. That means he's tough. That means it's going to take more than one person with an arm tackle to bring him down. Nico Storetti showing you his Jersey toughness on that hard-fought run.
He's one of those durable backs. For the first time in his career, he fought injury this year, a high ankle sprain early. Then he banged up his shoulder in the win against Delaware. And Jimmy Owens, who filled in for him, suffered a knee injury early in this playoff run. So how valuable is it to have a guy, a warrior like Storetti, to jump right back on?
When you need running back by committee, next man called up has to be able to make plays. And impressive run for New Hampshire. Knocking off Fordham with their talented freshman running back, Chase Edmonds, and then here at home also knocking off the number 8 seed, Chattanooga, the Hughesmans.
Good look at Jimmy Owens, forced to be a spectator on this 4th and short. Big play early in this game. Storetti, 2nd and 3rd effort. He'll move the chains for the first down. Braden Crate had a crack at him, but could not corral him.
The strength of Illinois State's defense is their defensive line. And you're going to see white jerseys get penetration, but Crate not able to bring him down. Great job by Storetti, showing the Jersey toughness once again, not allowing one tackler to do it, realizing the situation and what was at stake, able to will himself forward for the first down.
New Hampshire into the red zone, trouble brewing, and Goldrich is sacked. He's dumped back at the 23, Mike Banks.
Mike Banks is a starting cornerback for the Redbirds, so they're bringing the corner blitz. They plan on trying to disrupt the pocket, not allowing Goldrich to get comfortable. You see him come from the top of your screen, makes a move. They have 2 people breaking down the pocket. Good job by Crate and Banks, and down went Goldrich.
Defensive coordinator Spence Nowinski told us they are going to be aggressive, no sitting back. He felt they sat back way too much a week ago. Shovel play, Storetti not much. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Dante McCoy in on the stop.
And right now, Illinois State is winning the battle of the line of scrimmage, but they're not able to make the tackle once they get there. So the yards after contact are starting to mount up. That should have been a negative play for New Hampshire. That last one, they sifted out well, but they over-pursued and did not bring down the ball carrier.
The kicking game has been an adventure this year for New Hampshire. Typically, when they get in the red zone, it's 6. They've had to turn to the punter, Praske, late in this playoff run to be their primary field goal kicker. 3rd and 8. Here comes pressure. Goldrich eludes, has room to run. He'll pick up the first down. Dodged a couple of bullets. Sean Goldrich showing us his athleticism.
Well, they're going to bring pressure on the pocket. They bring the outside blitz. And once you lose outside contain on a quarterback with man-to-man coverage, no one there to contain the outside, and great recognition by Goldrich as he almost picked up the first down.
Well, you call that blitz. Alex Donnelly has to finish the deal for Illinois State.
And that's something that they have to do. They've gotten penetration. They just have not been able to make the tackles behind the line of scrimmage. So they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage, but they're not completing the task.
Shovel pitch. Storetti holds it in, and he plows to the 4. Brought down by McCoy again. 2nd and goal.
They converted, but you can tell this is living dangerously. He barely got this pitch off. Free hit on the quarterback, but great quarterback play. And then once Storetti gets the ball, he's going to tough it out and pick up the necessary yardage. But you just have that feeling that yards are not going to be easy to come by in the trenches versus Illinois State.
Look at this lineup for New Hampshire on 2nd down. Goldrich looking. He could run if he wants to, and he will get into the corner for the touchdown.
Take a look here. You're going to see, watch number 87 right here. Freeze it right there in the middle of your screen. Take a look at him. He sees the play. He sees the throwback. That's Teddy Korn. As he goes to get outside, gives up outside containment once again, allowing Goldrich to run into the end zone. Well-coached team. They're putting him in the right position, but they're not capitalizing on the plays, and that's why New Hampshire was able to score a touchdown.
Gotta go underneath that.
11 plays, 57 yards for the Wildcats.
You're gonna go with the whole thing. The whole thing's gonna go too.
Praske adds the point after, and it's New Hampshire with their first lead. Sean Goldrich is used to throwing touchdowns, but he used his feet twice on that drive, including this touchdown gallop for the Wildcats. 7-3 New Hampshire on top of Illinois State. 1978 New Hampshire graduate Sean McDonald has returned to his alma mater in his 16th year guiding this program, and for the 2nd time in his wonderful career was introduced as the Eddie Robinson Award winner just a week and a half ago. And you look at his resume, his body of work, and the first word that jumps out at me, Jay, is the stability. This program has been, just a consistent winning machine through his tenure here in the Northeast.
And I think when you take a look at it, the one that says it all to me, that right there. 11 straight postseason playoff appearance. That is a tradition of winning, a program with high expectations, and now that they're ranked number 1 for the 2nd time in the program's history, they want to capitalize on those expectations and win a championship.
Just the 3rd coach, the FCS level, to win the honor twice, joining some elite company with Craig Bull at North Dakota State and Mickey Matthews and his runs at James Madison. We've seen some early mistakes by both kicking units, as you saw the kick go out of bounds, giving Illinois State good starting position.
And that's living dangerous, because in this game here, you have to think points are going to be put on the board. These offenses are too good. Illinois State comes in averaging 40 points per game, and New Hampshire right behind them at 37.5 points per game. So if it becomes a battlefield position, you're going to have to shore up your special teams, particularly in the kicking game.
See if the Redbirds give the football on a steady dose to number 25, Marshawn Coppridge. He gets the call here. 6 yards, knocked out of bounds by DeAndre.
You called it, because I was thinking when he was underneath the center, it's time to see Coppridge. When you came out throwing the football, you showed that you can throw the football, but Coppridge is your best offensive weapon that you have to go along with Trey Roberson. 2,000-yard rushers get better as the game goes on, and as we saw last week when you watched the video, he got stronger as the game went on versus Eastern Washington. The more touches that he gets, the more he's able to carry the load and the more success he has.
That's only his 3rd touch in this opening quarter. Coppridge over the left side. He'll pick up the first down, running through arm tackles, and finally caught at the 41. There's some of that power. Akil Anderson finally able to drag him down.
Good job, and they looked at the number count, and they saw they had the numbers. New Hampshire was going to try and play him straight up with a 6-man box, taking on the 5 offensive linemen from Illinois State, and Coppridge is that extra dimension there. He can make up for being 1 man down in the blocking game, and you saw a good example there that last play. Small hole, but he was able to get low, explode through it, and very tough to bring down.
Offensive line that has 3 Missouri Valley Football Conference all-conference selections. Roberson again on a rope, has Nevlet at the 30. Time now for our Planning for Success, presented by Northwestern Mutual.
Well, Illinois State, they have to win the battle of the trenches. I think they're doing that thus far, and they must watch out for the trick plays that New Hampshire's going to bring. For New Hampshire, protect their quarterback. This is a very aggressive defensive line for Illinois State. It all starts with the protection, and they must attack the line of scrimmage on defense. You can't sit there and absorb the blocks from the offensive line from Illinois State. You must attack it, change your body angles, lower your pad level, always confuse them on the front.
Roberson along the sideline caught. That's Anthony Warham with the reception. 2012 Mr. Indiana actually has the Hoosier State records in high school for career catches, with 269 in career yards in his day at Heritage Christian School. Hasn't been looked at a lot this year, only his 16th catch of this season. Illinois State sniffing at that red zone for the 2nd time. Deep drop, Roberson down the middle, caught. O'Shaughnessy, the tight end, 1st and goal for the Redbirds.
How do you defense them? I mean, once Coppridge starts feeling good, you say they're going to start running the football, then they come out with 2 consecutive passes. Great job by Roberson stepping up, seeing his big target, James O'Shaughnessy, 6'4", 245 pounds, settle in the zone. Gear down, make the catch, 1st down, Redbirds. And that's why I always say when you talk about Trey Roberson, if you call him one of these dual threat quarterbacks, you normally start thinking run first. He's a pass first quarterback that happens to run the football very well.
Put up big numbers last year in a split time situation with Sudfeld and Indiana. Here he shows some of his power. Oh, he lost the football near the goal line. And New Hampshire's going to come away with it.
Extra effort trying to get into the end zone. It looked as if he was going to be able to spin at the end of this run into the end zone. Great individual effort. He gets turned around trying to get to the end zone. He's going to lean forward. Gets knocked. Great hit. Put on the ball by Akil Anderson. Watch 42 come in. Finish him off. He's trying to reach to stretch out. Puts the ball out there, and Dougie Moss comes up with the recovery.
We've called Moss's name a couple of times early on, the reserve corner. They are going to take another look at it upstairs.
I thought maybe the knee might have been down, but when we saw the review there, he was standing up. He was upright. He was going to spin, and he was trying to extend the football. See, he's upright. This is the contact here, looking for the knees. So he's up. He's up, and he's going to try and extend. And did not quite make it. And I don't think he was able to extend the ball over the goal line. No. I mean, what a great job by Akil Anderson. He's a leading tackler on the team. You see why?
Yes.
Leading tacklers make tackles. You put them anywhere on the football field, they're going to end the run. And that's a great play by the junior from Morristown, New Jersey.
The ruling on the field stands. First down.
So the New Hampshire defense comes away with the takeaway on the doorstep of their goal line and hugs all the way around. Akil Anderson, the two-time all-conference Colonial player, stepping up big, and the junior from Morristown delivering the blow that keeps Illinois State off the board. So New Hampshire from the 4, Storetti with the call, and he has stood up at the line of scrimmage, thrown backwards, pick up a yard. Corwin in on the stop. You like physical football, Teddy Corwin's a guy to keep an eye on throughout the next couple of hours.
Steady defensive lineman, 6'5", 260 pounds. And you see there, it's going to be that type of day for Storetti. I mean, he averages only 3.9 yards per carry, but yards are going to be very tough to come by versus very aggressive defensive line for Illinois State.
Brock Spack told us on the call this week, this is a very good offense. Our key today on the road, don't cough up the football. They lose it late here in the first quarter, and it takes points off the board.
He actually mentioned that to me when I talked to him before the game. He said, if we hold on to the football, very tough to beat. We turn it over early. After one, New Hampshire hold and serve. They're up 7-3.
Magic here in the studio. Football on the mind. A bowl game in the books. New Orleans Bowl. R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Terrence Broadway, 14 straight completions to start the game. Longest streak of completions to start any bowl game ever. Louisiana Lafayette beats Nevada 16-3. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. As we start quarter number 2, New Hampshire with a 7-3 lead over Illinois State, and the Wildcats getting the job done on the ground. A blending of Storetti and then the quarterback Goldrich.
The run after contact. You see Storetti there running after 3. Redbirds have a chance to bring him down here. And then once again, they missed the tackle in the backfield, allow the quarterback to get outside of contain and almost pick up the first down. And another missed assignment there on the defensive line, allowing Goldrich to go into the end zone.
Goldrich with the 4-yard touchdown, and then the defense coming away with the takeaway when it looked like Illinois State was marching in to regain the lead. 3rd and 5. The Wildcats 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Has a man, that's Spears. He'll make the catch. McCoy desperately hanging on to the jersey. Finally brings him down at the 43.
Oh, wow. How do you allow a big target? I knew he was the impact player, but watch the clean release he gets. Comes off the line of scrimmage right down the hash. Nobody touches him. You cannot allow a 6'5" target to get that clean a release without bumping him on the line of scrimmage. Great recognition by Goldrich.
47 yards on the strike to Spears, who has a catch in every single game this year. Goldrich looks left, throws. Too much cushion given by the Redbirds secondary. Following the pass in is Giansanti, his second catch.
And this is what we talked about. Spears makes some plays in the middle of the field. Then they start to open up for the outside. So we called Giansanti with a catch. We've called Spears with a catch. What's coming next? R.J. Harris is going to show up in this football game, I'm telling you.
The lull before the storm as Goldrich again eludes 1 and 2 defenders. McCoy able to grab onto a shoestring, but you hit it early. Illinois State not finishing their tackles in this first half.
They're in great position. I mean, Dante McCoy was there. Michael Banks missed the tackle, and that's what's frustrating. I thought the key for tackling was going to be the pressure on New Hampshire to bring down Copperich and Roberson. Right now, the Redbirds, Illinois State, their tackling at the initial contact has been poor, allowing too many second chances for New Hampshire.
Quick swivel route.
Another missed tackle.
Keeping his balance is Dalton Crossan.
You have to make this play. And I know it's frustrating for Spencer Nowinski, the defensive coordinator. He's there. You'll allow him to make this catch. Now come up, make the tackle, end it. Instead, picks up another 5 yards, and now it's 2nd and short instead of 2nd and 7 or 8.
New Hampshire happy to have a healthy Dalton Crossan. He missed the first 8 games. He is one of those playmakers, usually double-digit yards type guy. He'll get his first carry here, makes a nifty cutback, and will move the chains. Tried to get outside. That avenue was cut off by Perkins, so a heads-up play, turned it up for what he could.
And that's the mindset right now for New Hampshire. Get whatever's there, and don't allow the easy tackle to bring you down. Good look there at Spencer Nowinski. I mean, it's got to be frustrating. He's calling great game. I mean, he's putting his team in a position to make the plays, but they are not executing, tackling the ball carrier.
Couple of blockers. This is Storetti to the 5, and he's pushed out of bounds. 14 yards, Josh Birch, the last line of defense.
We talked about Mike Kosha being the impact player. Watch the center come out here, and this is how you seal the edge. He's going to pull around the edge there, very active. You're going to see it coming right there. Gets to the outside, springs his running back. That is how Storetti was able to pick up those yards.
They spread 3 to the top. Storetti up the middle on a dive. Touchdown, New Hampshire.
Mike Kosha starting to win his battle from the center position. You see the double team block. Number 70 Kosha, number 69 Alexander Morrell. Able to have a huge hole for Storetti to go into.
Mike Kosha, the All-American center. And now New Hampshire, who goes for 2 quite frequently, and this is why, as Andy Bayless tucks in front of the pylon. Bayless is the 2-point specialist for the Wildcats.
It's a team with plenty of playoff experience. Continue to put the pressure not only on your defense, but on your special teams as well.
Oh, there's a reason they've won 14 straight here in the Dudgeon. Nico Storetti, the 5th-year senior, barrels his way in. Wildcats with the early momentum. Nico Storetti with his 14th rushing touchdown of the season. New Hampshire goes 96 yards on 9 plays. Wildcats on top 15-3. Winner of this game heads to Frisco, Texas on January 10th to take on a familiar name, North Dakota State, back into the championship. The Bison looking for their 4th consecutive title. And again, it's turned out to be a second-half team. North Dakota State had to rally against South Dakota State. They had to rally against Coastal Carolina, and then a dominant defensive performance against Casey Keeler's Sam Houston State team last night.
Because the recipe for North Dakota State, they're not going to out-quick you, and they're not going to out-scheme you. They're just going to beat you up. They're going to be more physical than you are. And when does the physicality normally show its head in football games? 3rd, 4th quarter. That's why for Illinois State out the same conference as North Dakota State, can't let this league get too big, because the more physical play for the Missouri Valley Football Conference will start to show up at some point during this game.
Short kick, Tevin Allen with all sorts of momentum. He fielded that ball on the run. He'll spin a couple of different directions, still dancing. And that might be about as creative a return as you're going to see. Tevin Allen. The FCS Championship concludes in Frisco, Texas, in 3 weeks where a champion will be crowned. The championship game airs live on ESPN2 January 10th at 2 p.m. For more information, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships.
Where did you say the championship game is being played?
Frisco, Texas.
They don't call it Frisco, Texas.
They call it down there.
They call it Fargo South. That's what the North Dakota State faithful call it. Fargo South. The reservations have been made at the start of the season.
I think the suburb of Dallas would do some complaining if Fargo brought the weather with them come January. Nowhere to go for Copperidge. He is eaten up at the line of scrimmage. That's Shane McNeely and Matt Kaplan.
Right now is where that balance has to show up for Illinois State. They came out throwing the ball very effectively. When you get behind, I think everybody's anticipating now they're going to start going to Copperidge again. I think just the opposite. Now is when you must throw the football, as New Hampshire starting to stack the box, going with 8 people close to the line of scrimmage.
Roberson a quick throw, Neblett with another catch, and he will pick up the first down up ahead to the 49-yard line. Safalo, the safety, in on the stop.
And that's what a good offense does. You know, we talk about take what the defense gives you and do it well. A defense says we're not going to let you run the football. That means you must throw it, pitch it, catch it, pick up the first down. The versatility of this offense has been impressive and has really improved with the growth of Trey Roberson as a passer.
It's a design draw for Roberson, who is using his legs more than what we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Remember, this Illinois State team has not trailed in the postseason. They jumped out early on UNI, and then last week, a quick 10-0 lead out of the gates on Eastern Washington.
And I think this drive right now is going to be a test of their mettle. A championship team must overcome adversity. They were in position to go up by 3 with a touchdown run. Instead of fumble on the 1-yard line, the other team takes it 98 yards on you. Now you find yourself down by 12 on the road. What's your team made of?
Coppridge stretches it to the outside. He'll pick up the first down. Knocked out at the 39-yard line by Safalo.
Good job running the ball to the right side there. All-conference tackle, number 70, Jermaine Barton, transfer from the University of Miami. You'll see him get on the edge, and also good job by 85, Neblett, the wide receiver. This is a team that can run the football. Coppridge is a sit-on-your-seat type of runner, meaning every time he touches it, he has the potential of doing some damage.
You see what Coppridge has put together this year. Single season leaders at the FCS level, over 2,100 yards. Home run ball. Roberson wanted to go deep initially. It was well covered. Neblett was double teamed downfield, so that forced Roberson to check down.
And that's what I like about the progression. Didn't force the ball. They called for the deep post over the top, came off that read, went to a secondary read, which was the out pattern to Cameron Meredith. And Meredith does a good job of using that big frame to give his quarterback a little room on that sideline.
Meredith with the catches in this first half, now over 1,000 yards on the season. Just his second year at receiver. He was the backup quarterback for 2 years at Normal. Coppridge, good low center of gravity. You saw him locate the chain where he needed to be, and Coppridge able to go over that left side.
Good offensive line, very athletic. We're running to the right, running to the left. Good seal block by Michael Leakey, the left tackle. And the 2 bookend tackles they have are transferred. Leakey from Western Michigan and Barton from Miami. And I believe that Marshawn Coppridge has been the biggest beneficiary of those transfers coming to the program.
Yeah, Brock Spack has done a nice job of sprinkling the transfer to this Illinois State program. Coppridge on a cut, spins ahead to the 21-yard line. He picks up 7 more yards, and he twirled right away from Safalo, who doesn't miss too many tackles.
Nick Safalo, the senior, and this is the chance here where you see Coppridge is special. He doesn't need much room, and great vision, nice spin, pick up some extra yardage. And you just get the feeling that this game here, with Illinois State, direct reflection of their coach, Brock Spack. Chicago guy, you know, he's got the Ditka mustache, the Buckus type of tradition, defensive coordinator. They're tough. They fall down when the tough, what's the phrase, when things get tough, the tough get going.
There's the option by Roberson, nowhere to go, and he'll give ground. Back at the line of scrimmage, game tackling for New Hampshire, and defensive coordinator John Lyons told us, 6-second burst. That's how you describe this defense.
That's what he wants. When you're on the field, give me 6 seconds and fly to the football. Trust your eyes and your instinct. And plethora of blue jerseys surrounding the ball carrier.
You won't see too many solo tackles in John Lyons' system. 3, 4, 5 guys all chasing the football. Roberson, Coppridge, nowhere to go. Look at the sea of blue. End up on top of Coppridge.
Hard pursuit to the football, winning the number count. Nick Safalo, the free safety, getting involved in the run game. This is one where you almost question, should you pull it out of the stomach, but they just surround the football. Cephalo coming when you think you've got room to bounce to the outside. Sticking with his assignment, outside contained, there to make the tackle and stop. Illinois State short of the first down.
The wind can be tricky here coming off the Atlantic. This will be a 40-yard field goal for Ausicker. He's connected from 33 earlier. Kick on the way. No good. He pushed it right. Brock Spack's Redbirds come up empty. New Hampshire by 12. New Hampshire with all the momentum here in the first half, 15-3 Wildcats, and it all started on the defensive side of the football toward the tail end of the first quarter when it looked like Roberson and the Redbirds were going to regain the lead. Akeel Anderson comes up big.
Big play. Watch 42 come in here, dislodge the football from Trey Roberson, able to take advantage and make the stop.
So then to the second quarter we go. The longest drive of the year for New Hampshire, 96 yards.
Hey, they have their backs against the wall. Third down, big completion to Harold Spears, and they capitalize and finish off the drive like good football teams do with the touchdown run by Scaretti.
So adversity on the road for Illinois State. Crossing pattern caught. There's R.J. Harris, and Harris takes it all the way to midfield. With his 2 catches today, he now owns the single season and the career school record for New Hampshire.
Crossing route, use the official as a little bit of a pick on that rub. Smart, savvy play, and then run after catch. It was a matter of time before Harris started to become one of the key people you have to watch in this football game, and I will continue to keep an eye on R.J. Harris.
306 career receptions for Harris, 2 better than his predecessor David Ball, the former walk-on who starred here for New Hampshire. From the 49, here comes the blitz and a quick throw. Good recognition by Goldrich as he hooks up with Harris. Donnelly with the coverage. See the drives put forth and an offense that seems to be getting more comfortable working against Illinois State. 3 and out on the opening salvo, but then back-to-back scoring drives, including that last long one. Goldrich kind of favoring that right leg as he operates from the shotgun on second down, and Scaretti is tripped in the backfield and taken down.
And look at that, he's clearly hobbling.
Yes, he is.
Right now, he already has a knee brace. He does not look like he would be a threat in the running game right now. And as an offensive coordinator, it affects your play calling because you wonder how much you want to expose your quarterback to, even with the drop back pass. Now, maybe you go with the 3-step or the quick passing game compared to the traditional 5-step drop or the long passing routes.
The good news for New Hampshire, you saw Andy Bayless watching on the side. He is an experienced quarterback. Could Goldrich run into trouble? Third down, he's going to test out that knee, throws it up. Harris comes back to it. Harris came back to the football. There is a marker down, and so is Goldrich.
What a play. And I don't know how much longer Goldrich is going to be able to go in this football game. But it was great defense by Illinois State, but Harris, with the football IQ, came back to his quarterback and realized the ball was in the air, did not give up on the play, but it's going to be all for naught.
Holding 78 offense, 10 yards, third down.
Wipe out the catch. You see holding the call, and here it's been a rugged 3 plays for Goldrich. Here's the initial shot he took that jarred him.
Yeah, that was David Perkins coming off the edge, and then here, pursuit to the quarterback. He's going to try to escape. Just dragged down by Brandon Prate. And he's going to continue to try and stay in there, but it's not a healthy formula because one thing we said earlier, Illinois State, what's the strength of their defense? The defensive front 4. If they see a wounded quarterback in the backfield, that's going to amp them up a little bit more, and they're going to try a little bit harder to get to the quarterback.
Blood in the water for the Redbird front 4 with Keoshin and Prate, Perkins and Corwin. Third down and long. Over the middle, caught. Spears trying to will his way to the first down. He'll be 2 yards shy as the Redbirds drop him at the 44.
And he's close enough where he makes you think about going for it potentially here. Great job of quarterback getting rid of the ball quickly, trying to pick it all up as much as you can. And Spears knew he was short, and he tried to muscle to get there, not able to. This is fake punt time right here.
Took the words right out of my mouth with this unit, this structure, this philosophy at New Hampshire. 4th and 2, and not here. They're going to try to pin him deep. Krasky, who's a master of it, unable to get the job done this time as the ball goes hop-skipping into the end zone for the touchback. Illinois State trying to regroup. So Sean Goldrich, they're going to take a look at him.
Matt Schick here, coming up in just a few moments at halftime of this game. It only took one bowl game for one player to set an all bowls record. We'll tell you about that. Top 25 matchup on the hardwood in Chicago, going the way of the lesser ranked team. And we'll look ahead to Kentucky's game against Louisville next week. Okay?
Sean Goldrich trying to work out the kinks. Took a couple of pretty good shots from the Illinois State defense. The starting quarterback who suffered a knee injury earlier this year in the game against Richmond cost him 5 games. So we'll keep an eye on him as Illinois State and Roberson go back to work. From the 20, series of play fakes down the seam, looking, and it's caught right on the money. Neblett hauls it in. A foot race to the 5, down to the 3-yard line. The deep ball on the money from Roberson.
Yeah, this is just speed. Deep post route, has to hit him in stride. Pretty good coverage by Casey DeAndre. He's running with him, but he gets beat. If that ball's not perfectly thrown, that's a bat down for a good defensive back like DeAndre. And able to continue and run yard after catch. That was a great throw, great catch, great play selection. And just like that, Illinois State knocking on the door.
They missed this guy last year. He tore his knee up in fall camp, missed all of last season. He's the deep threat on this offense. Roberson over the right side gets 2. And this is the neck of the woods where we saw Illinois State cough it up earlier in the first quarter.
And a couple times it seems as if the pitch has been open, but Roberson's called his own number. And I know as a quarterback, you normally get a little conservative once you get by the goal line. If nothing's there, you pick up 1 or 2 yards and they add up. But I think here you have to allow Coppers to touch the football.
Out of the eye, Tibbetts is the lead back, and Coppers has nowhere to go. He is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Blowing his way through that time was Cam Short.
This is a good offensive line they're taking on, and Shorey just wins the one-on-one battle, comes knifing through, able to make the tackle, and just like that, you change the dynamic. I think Coppers needs to touch the football. Great individual effort by Shorey. Now I believe it's a time where you have to spread out your offensive selection, and you have to throw the football. But if I'm Trey Roberson, if I don't see something that I like right away, I'm going to look for a running lane to take off and run.
Roberson on the read, and again, nowhere to go. Kaplan shut the door initially, and as we've talked about, gang tackling arrived shortly after.
And then you always question this with that read option. Should he have kept the football? I mean, take a look. You have to look, see where the penetration is coming from. It looks like he's going to be able to run for it, but Matt Kaplan, number 60, comes off his block late. So Roberson actually read his keys. It looked like there should have been more yardage there. Instead, a great effort by Kaplan, and the Redbirds forced to settle for a field goal.
Illinois State continues to fire blanks in this first half. Ausicker on for his 3rd field goal attempt, and this time he sneaks it in. So 3s instead of 6s for the Redbirds in a game that we anticipated to be a shootout today.
Yeah, and that's vice versa what happened to Illinois State last week versus Eastern Washington. They were able to get the lead and increase the lead by taking touchdowns when Eastern Washington settled for field goals on a few occasions. But the good news is this. Illinois State's been able to move the football. And you have to think they should probably have success continuing to move the football. They just have to capitalize on their drives. But now you put pressure on that defense. I mean, you're down by 9. Once you start getting above 14, 15 points, you start getting in desperation mode.
Sunday afternoon on ESPNU, scoring threat Wesley Saunders and the dangerous Crimson look for a breakthrough victory against Tony Bennett's undefeated Cavaliers. Harvard takes on number 6 Virginia, Sunday 12 noon on ESPNU. It's all part of Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers.
And just what a difference, the effort. I mean, think about that play to Nebler. That should have been a touchdown, right? But DeAndre would not give up on it and made the tackle on the 2 or 3 yard line, even though he was beat. And then the team picks him up and forces Illinois State to settle for a field goal. That's a team concept. That's the senior leadership that you're looking for, and that's a team that believes in each other.
Dalton Crossan from the 5. Crossan gets to the outside. Watch out, the kicker to beat. And Crossan all the way to midfield. This guy, ever since he has returned to the lineup, has been instant offense, instant special teams with his electrifying playmaking.
Take a look at number 20. Freeze it right here. Number 28. This is DeAndre once again. Watch him seal the edge. Get here. How you're able to get outside. Seal the edge. Turn him around. Allow the athleticism to take over. I butchered his name earlier, but he's making up for it right now with some good football plays. Casey, DeAndre getting it done on special teams. That's effort. See, those are the little things that don't show up in the stat sheet, but your coaches appreciate it, and that'll get you more playing time and have your teammates come to respect you.
Here comes the blitz up the middle, and forced to throw it away was Goldrich. He had a torpedo locked on, and a wise decision by the junior out of West Haven, Connecticut.
And they know that he's still limping, and they brought the blitz right up the middle, and they still weren't able to bring Goldrich down. Got rid of the football, but it's been missed opportunities by the defense that has allowed New Hampshire to keep drives alive.
Special teams propelled New Hampshire to a victory against Chattanooga. Field position, and now the return by Crossan. Goldrich, deep ball, nobody home. Incomplete. He was looking for Crossan. Alex Donley had the linebacker coverage. This is an important down for Illinois State. You look at the time, all 3 timeouts. If they can somehow get a stop here and get their big-powered offense one more crack at it. But they need a stop right here. They rush only 3, and it's intercepted at the line of scrimmage. A low throw picked off.
Colin Keoshin, from his defensive tackle position, makes a huge play, anticipating the crossing route coming. Keoshin's a junior college transfer, was a running back coming out of junior college. Watch him just spying his eyes, reading his eyes, and what do we say? If you can't get to the quarterback, when he throws, elevate. Look at him, he's looking. Okay, once he throws, I'm gonna jump, and he jumps, athletic enough to hold on to the football and come away with the huge interception.
You mentioned Spence Nowinski has called a really good first half. He's had his guys in position, and that time they dropped Keoshin back and they fooled Goldrich.
And they fooled him, didn't see it coming. They just have to capitalize because the defensive coordinator has been putting them in great situations.
So a huge turnover for the Redbird defense. Roberson going for the juggler, downfield, Meredith. Blanket coverage by Cefalo, incomplete. Mensah also in the vicinity. See Illinois State, they fumbled at the Wildcat 2. Ausicker with a misfire and a field goal. 4 red zone trips, 6 points. That's not going to get it done here at New Hampshire today.
It's not. I think right now you have to analyze the situation right now. If your head coach Brock's back and quarterback Trey Roberson, more importantly, because you just need a field goal right now going to the half. You don't need the touchdown. Get a field goal, make this a 1-score game.
Roberson looked right, instead checks down, and that one airmailed over the head of Warren. He was open, but looked like Roberson, a simple misfire.
Reading his progressions. Right now, you just need to get yourself a first down, try and figure out where field goal range may be. Chip away at the lead of the Wildcats.
Both these teams in the top 5 on third downs, but both have struggled here in this semifinal. Illinois State 1 of 5. Deep drop, Roberson over the middle, dangerous throw, and it's incomplete. DeAndre with the coverage. And Roberson heads to the sideline frustrated.
Yeah, they bait him. See, he thought he had single coverage on Meredith at the bottom of your screen, but he does not. Great job of dropping in the zone coverage by the linebacker. You see him buzz underneath. 2 defenders there, one underneath, one on top of the throw.
C.J. Laros on the punt. DeAndre, who's been all over the place in this first half, awaiting the kick back at the 10. Laros with an angle kick toward the far side. And let's see where they'll mark it. Right at the 21-yard line. 31-yard punt by the senior from Australia, C.J. Laros. And now plenty of time for Sean McDonald's Wildcats. 1:04 and all 3 timeouts.
And that's the key, the 3 timeouts. A minute, normally not a lot of time, but in college football, with 3 timeouts, a minute's an eternity because the clock stops after each first down. So those are almost like built-in timeouts.
You see what's at stake. One more ticket left open. Who will take on North Dakota State January 10? The Bison, 3 consecutive national titles. Will it be their counterpart from the Missouri Valley Football Conference or the Wildcats of the Colonial? 9 yards on first down for Storetti.
And R.J. Harris got rolled up on at the end of that play.
Oh, that would be a huge blow for New Hampshire as he heads to the sideline.
No Storetti. You see Harris doing a good job blocking, but Storetti comes right behind him. And
that left foot, left ankle. See what Harris has done today. 3 catches, 34 yards for the program's all-time leading receiver, R.J. Harris.
Yeah, because Harris was down, they're going to do a runoff, a 10-second runoff. New Hampshire choosing not to use a timeout. They say, we'll let the 10-second runoff, which I think is smart. But if you're going to get to the line of scrimmage, call the play right away. Otherwise, they're just content having their lead. Now with them taking their time like this, Harris is out the game. They let the 10-second run off. They're content going into halftime with a 9-point lead.
And with their kicking situation as well factored in. Not a real strong kicking game this year. Goldrich goes down to a knee. And I think, Jay, as we look back at this first half, I think a little bit lower scoring than we both envisioned.
Yeah, missed opportunities. Illinois State clearly left points on the board. And give credit to New Hampshire, #1 team in the country, has been able to weather the storm. And anytime you can lead going into halftime, good job defending your home turf.
New Hampshire, a couple of rushing touchdowns in the first half. One from Goldrich, the other from Storetti. They lead 15-6. Time now for the college football halftime report with Matt and Adrian.
Thank you, guys. 15-6, New Hampshire up on Illinois State. Matt Chick here with you. Both of these teams fighting for this trophy, fighting for the right to get to the game to win that trophy. Neither of these 2 teams have ever made it to the FCS National Championship game. Both teams 1 half away from accomplishing that. Some other bowl games. Again, that's a national championship playoff format. Other teams taking part in their typical bowl games here. And the first one of the day, the New Orleans Bowl. And that's Coach Hudspeth for Louisiana Lafayette taking on Nevada. And it was a record-setting day for quarterback Terrence Broadway. 14 straight completions to start the game. That is a record for completions to start any bowl game ever. That one to C.J. Bates for the touchdown. Cody Fajardo, he's seen better days, seen better times in New Orleans. Christian Ringo, 21 career sacks. Gets that one there. First school to win the same bowl game 4 straight years. Louisiana Lafayette makes it happen 16-3. Bowl games are a rite of passage. They are gifts for student athletes, as evidenced by this one where both teams, Utah State and UTEP, got to spend the week in New Mexico. Kent Myers, quarterback draw, takes it 48 yards to the house. And right now, Utah State up on UTEP 7-3. Jamil Showers, former Texas A&M quarterback, got beat out by Johnny Manziel a couple of seasons ago. Transfer, 6 of 8, 68 yards passing. We'll keep you posted. 9 minutes to go in the first half there as the Aggies up on the Miners, 7-3. Coming up, basketball highlights for you. Adrian Branch will join me next.
Welcome back to the NCAA FCS Championship Semifinal presented by Northwestern Mutual. We are at the half. New Hampshire, seeded 1, top ranked in the country, on top of Illinois State, 15-6 as we get set for the second half. And you look at this game and the way it started for Illinois State, the Redbirds just could not capitalize inside the red zone.
Yeah, great job by New Hampshire, bend but not break defensive philosophy, forcing Illinois State to settle for field goal attempts, a team that's very efficient.
On the other side, Sean Goldbridge can throw the football, and he proved to us he has some athleticism as well.
They made the most of their opportunities. They got the ball in the red zone 2 times. Both times they converted for touchdowns, where it was just the opposite for Illinois State.
Here was the big play late in the first quarter when it looked like Illinois State was going to grab the lead. You see the hit by Anderson, jarring the ball free, and then a 96-yard drive for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Harold Spears, the tight end, with a clean release. And one thing that they did a good job of, capitalizing drives inside the red zone. Scaretti goes in for the score, 14 points, and they got a 2-point conversion to make it 15-6.
Both these teams 3-4 in the country, but you see it what they have done today. Both have struggled, and that's the reason why Illinois State has had to settle for 3 field goals in this first half, despite 235 yards of offense. You mentioned it, bend but don't break. That's been the mantra for New Hampshire.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you'd have thought with 4 opportunities into the red zone, they would come away with more than just 6 points. But playoff football, you must capitalize on every aspect of the game if you want to advance and take on a tough North Dakota State squad.
Dalton Crossan, who had ripped off a 45-yard return in the first half, is cut off here. Good special teams play by Illinois State. All right, Jay, let's go into the second half here. Keys starting with New Hampshire and Sean Goldbridge.
Health first. I mean, Goldbridge got banged up in the first half. He was limping. How much more contact can he take? And at the end of the first half, we saw R.J. Harris go limping off the field. He has a tape job on that ankle. Will that be enough?
That is Harris in motion with the heavy tape job on his left ankle. Goldbridge, a pitch, trying to get to the corner. This is Bayless, and a big-time collision along the near side. Let's see if Bayless is all right. Oh, boy, he took a shot.
Bayless is the backup quarterback, yes. And that's something they'll do. They'll put 2 quarterbacks in the game at once. Maybe the recognition by Tevin Allen, realizing that was a running back in the backfield. He comes up in full pursuit and does not ease up on the contact. And Bayless doesn't run from it either.
Well, you were just talking about the health, and we talked about the luxury that New Hampshire has with these 2 quarterbacks. Goldbridge and Bayless, they have bounced back and forth throughout their years here at New Hampshire. Goldbridge won the starting job in 2012 as a redshirt freshman. He started 6 games. And then Bayless came back the next year, won the job out of fall camp. Goldbridge got it back this season, was injured, so Bayless stepped in, started 5 games, and was part of this win streak.
And that's a luxury to have 2 quarterbacks, but think about how that could change now. One of the strengths has been their 2-quarterback system. If Bayless is out, and that looks like the 2 helmets collided, might be a concussion. If he's out, and we know that Goldbridge is banged up, now Illinois State becomes more aggressive with their play selection, blitzing the quarterback. So a team that came in with 2 quarterbacks that were capable, right now they're basically down to half a quarterback because Goldbridge is limping.
Saw that shot from Tevin Allen, and good to see Bayless up on both feet, but I'm sure he's seen a few cobwebs right now. Bayless did pick up 9 on that first down play. Storetti back alongside Goldrich, and he'll get the call, and he will pick up the first down. Brought down by McCoy, the free safety.
And I think that the game plan needs to be get Storetti his carries. He ran the ball efficiently in the first half. In this type of football game, taking on a physical team, you need a back that can match their toughness. And Nico Storetti's done a good job getting those yards after contact.
Goldrich hobbled left, now hobbles right and throws it away. You can tell that knee is still really plaguing him as far as his mobility.
I was surprised he was able to remain in the football game, but now he's using his football intellect, realizing if something's not there right away, get rid of it, don't take any unnecessary hits.
This offensive line led by the All-American Kosha at center. Rob Bowman, the left tackle, the team captain. Deep ball, has a man, and he overshot him. It was Harris who had gotten behind Banks.
Missed throw, and Banks was gambling on the coverage. He's going to try and engage Harris 8 yards down the field. Missed on the collision. Nobody behind him. That would have been a touchdown. And Goldrich knows, missed an opportunity for a huge play in this game.
Normally so accurate, 65% accuracy coming into this one, and Sean McDonald knows they missed an opportunity. Goldrich is going to try to run for the first down, and how about this? The guts of the junior Goldrich right up through the teeth of the Illinois State defense.
And that's a gutsy call. With a quarterback you know is not 100% healthy, if he gets hit the wrong angle, you're looking at your third-string quarterback coming in. Goldrich does a good job protecting himself in the football, able to pick up the first down.
Terrific block by Alexander Morrill, the left guard. Goldrich on a slant. Harris makes the catch. Terrific concentration. 12 more for the Wildcats.
Defensive back's going to try and undercut the route. That's Pat Meehan, the linebacker, tries to come underneath it. Not able to do so. And what great concentration on display by R.J. Harris. The great ones find that way. It's just that way to beat you. May not be 100%. Angle may be giving them issues, but they still find that way to be impact players.
NCAA active leader in receptions and receiving yards, R.J. Harris. Storetti bottled up by Keoshin at the line of scrimmage. This Keoshin's really a unique story. He approached the coaches during spring ball. They were short on the defensive line. They had some talented freshmen that SPAC wanted to redshirt. They approached Keoshin, who had pretty much virtually his entire career played running back, and here's a guy that has filled in, and not just filled in, he's one of the stars up front for Illinois State.
Disruptor, 7 sacks on the season. We saw the interception in this football game, and too athletic for guards.
All-out blitz. Goldrich picks it up. Room to run for Giansanti. He'll take it to the Redbird 19-yard line. 26 yards on the poise from Goldrich.
If you're going to blitz and you don't get to the quarterback, one-on-one on the outside, you must make the tackle. Here, coming up, bad angle on the tackle by Josh Birch, and that allows the receiver to pick up more yards after the missed tackle. We're starting to see Illinois State become very aggressive, sense of urgency, trying to get to the quarterback, exposing themselves with a lot of one-on-one coverage in their secondary.
Giansanti good for 25 yards. Little end around to Harris, trying to high step to the outside. Another missed tackle, has a couple of blockers, and he'll take it to the 9. We hate to sound like a broken record, but another missed tackle by Illinois State.
And this missed tackle would have been huge. It would have been a tackle for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to get Harris involved with a quick little flip on the reverse. Tackle coming up, misses right there. Tevin Allen, the free safety, knew where to be, was in the right location, just unable to bring down the ball carrier. Another first down for New Hampshire.
Jordan Powell, the tight end, has checked in. 2 tight ends set on 1st and goal. Storetti, not much. He is snowed under. Gets maybe 2. Big difference in this football game. The Wildcats are getting 6, while the Redbirds are having to settle for 3.
Yep. And they've missed a field goal as well. And that's really been the story. That's reflected on the scoreboard with the 15-6 score.
Keep an eye on Harris. He's lined up as the slot, top of the screen. 5 receiver empty set. They bring a blitz on the edge, and it's incomplete. Going the opposite way, setting up a 3rd down. Looking for Keon Taylor.
Quick out. They recognize the blitz coming to the outside. He just has to make that catch. And that's something when an offense is really doing good things, they want you to blitz. They're baiting them into blitzing us, and they've got the exact play call to beat it every single time. This New Hampshire has too much talent at the skill position to be able to blitz them on a continuous basis.
Tevin Allen, Keoshan, they've been tough on 3rd downs. 2 of 7 today. New Hampshire, Goldbridge double clutches and throws incomplete. Banks with the blanket coverage on Harris.
They had the look they wanted. They brought another blitz. They protected it one-on-one with R.J. Harris and Mike Banks. Throw was a little bit off, and good coverage by Mike Banks, forcing New Hampshire to go for a field goal try.
So here comes Brad Praske to attempt only his 2nd field goal of the year. Christian Breda was the kicker all season. He missed a point after in the first score in the playoff game against Fordham, and ever since it's been Praske who has connected from 30 yards this year. This one from 25. Kick on the way, and it's in. Money for the senior, Brad Praske. And New Hampshire gets 3 on the opening drive here in the 2nd half. Wildcats up the ante, now on top by 12. This FCS field got expanded in 2013 to 24 teams. We have sliced it down to 3 this year. Who will take on North Dakota State January 10th and play for an FCS national championship? Will it be Illinois State or will it be New Hampshire? And right now the Colonial Athletic looking strong with the Wildcats on top, 18-6. They go 13 plays on that last drive, 73 yards, and Praske able to connect on the 25-yard field goal.
Come out, put points on the board on their first drive out of the locker room. That's a good sign. And how much credit do you have to give the Bison program in North Dakota State? I mean, lose a starting quarterback, lose a head coach, and what do? Return to Frisco, Texas for a chance to defend their title.
Tevin Allen takes it out near the 30-yard line. What a job by Chris Kleiman taking over for Craig Bull, who left Fargo for pastures in Laramie, Wyoming, his first year with the Cowboys. And I'll tell you what, with John Crockett in the backfield, such a steady, tough, hard-nosed runner. And last night he showed that in the 2nd half, 166 yards and 3 touchdowns against Sam Houston State.
Their physical nature took place. I mean, they've got some talented kids up there, but every time I watch them, I'm just in awe on how much stronger they are than the opposing team, and it always shows up in their football games.
So Illinois State, for the first time, they set up a screen to Coppridge, trying to get this guy going, and he is giving ground. Not happening. Back at the 18-yard line, Cody Muller, one of the veterans of this defense, not fooled.
I mean, this is a screen pass and just great recognition. What did we talk about? The 6-second burst. The blue jerseys continue to surround the football. Look at all the blue jerseys around Coppridge. Nowhere to go. Huge play for the Wildcat defense.
Muller is a 6-year senior, has battled some early injuries in his career. What a season for Cody Muller. 4th on the all-time list, single season sack total. Here's a strike on the near side as Roberson able to hit Neblett. That's been his favorite target today.
Last week it was Meredith. This week it's been Neblett. And that's the luxury that they have. When you make them one-dimensional, when it's an obvious pass situation, they can still complete the passes. But what a huge third down this is for Illinois State.
And here comes the crowd at the Dungeon. 14 consecutive wins for this program here in Durham. Neblett makes the catch. Heavy traffic area. DeAndre brings him down shy of the first down.
They'll be short by a yard, and as tempting as you are to go for it right now, realizing this game might be getting away for it, I think you have to punt the football and count on your defense.
CJ Laros on the punt. DeAndre awaiting the kick inside his 20. Line drive, spiraling kick. DeAndre surveys at the 10. DeAndre up past the 20, takes it to the 27.
That's that coming back. The block in the back unnecessarily.
See the marker late. So Illinois State, their defense will have the luxury of pinning New Hampshire deep in their own end following the penalty.
The great return by DeAndre makes a couple tacklers miss, but you're going to see coming right there.
It's Keoshin who got chipped on the backside there for the Redbirds. Saw DeAndre lose his lid late.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 49, receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first out.
At the FCS level, 3 major awards are passed out in the month of December. And one of those guys right here in this one, Sean McDonald, came away with the Eddie Robinson coach for the second time in his career, the best head coach at the FCS level. The Walter Payton Award, that's the equivalent of a Heisman, and that went to John Robertson of Villanova. What a season for the junior Wildcat. And then defensively, the Buck Buchanan honor goes to Kyle Emanuel. What a season, second in the FCS in sacks with 17. Leads the country in TFLs with 28.5. Just part of that stout and stubborn Bison D.
They're strong down in the trenches, no surprise there. And what about the season for Robertson? A lot of people think had he been healthy in last week's game, it would have been Villanova taking on North Dakota State instead of Sam Houston State.
Throw tip, but it had enough juice on it to get to R.J. Harris. We have been alerted that Andy Bayless is out for the rest of this game with concussion-like syndromes.
Yeah, you can tell by the hit, the two helmets collided, incidental contact, and better safe than sorry. I know he wants to be available to his team, but not worth it, young man, trust me.
That means the backup is the sophomore Chris McCormick. On second down, good yardage, Storetti into the secondary. And Storetti, it takes 6, 7, 8 wide jerseys to finally bring him down. What were you saying, New Jersey tough?
He's New Jersey tough. That's what the coach described him as. He's just a Jersey guy, running through arm tackles, gets a lane, shows some speed, able to elude tackler after tackler, taking on the whole Redbird secondary. Nico Storetti, pretty good scouting report we got from Coach McDonald talking about him.
Storetti with 74 of New Hampshire's 122 on the ground. 27-yard run, the longest on the day. Series of fakes, couple of targets, and Harris unable to make the one-handed grab. He had Harris, he had Giansanti, both wide open.
And you can see Harris doesn't have the ability to give you that extra gear. This is the misdirection. Fake left, fake right on the reverse. He's wide open. Ball's in the air, and he's just not able to go get it because of that ankle that got tweaked in the first half. You knew the plays were coming. You know, that's a staple. They don't call that a trick play. They call that one of their offensive plays. able to catch a communication breakdown in the secondary, but can't capitalize with the throw and catch.
Here comes a linebacker blitz, and a catch is made by Allison, Jared Allison, at the 49 as they sent both Meehan and Donley.
See, that little completion right there shows up as a 4-yard completion, but it was a blitz, and it lets you know they recognize the blitz, they completed the pass, so that makes defensive coordinators normally get a little bit cautious when teams start completing passes when you bring one of your best blitz package. And right now, Sean Goldrich is seeing the blitz coming from Illinois State.
Spence Nowinski knows this is a critical down.
See, they're giving him another blitz look. Now, Illinois State got him a change of play, got out of it. And then now, New Hampshire's going to call timeout. They realize, hey, we were changing the play in anticipation of the blitz. Game of chess is continuing between the offense and defense.
New Hampshire by 12 here in the third.
Football Championship Live.
Some of the gorgeous scenery here in the Northeast. A good look at historic Neville Lighthouse, about 25 miles north of Durham. That's in York, Maine. As an Iowa guy, one of my goals coming here this trip was to go check out a lighthouse, so that's where I'm headed tonight.
Have fun.
I will.
Have fun, but great to come up here. One of the bucket list locations for me in terms of FCS football, and you look at the landscape and you hear so much about the tradition here in New Hampshire and true New England football on display and the hospitality. It's been a great environment.
Big third down here for the Wildcats. 3rd and 6, deep ball down the sideline, one-on-one coverage, and Banks holds his ground, and New Hampshire forced to punt.
Banks challenging him one-on-one.
4th and 6.
Not able to convert on that one, and give credit to the Redbird defense. They come up with the stop.
Brad Prasky back to punt.
Sean McDonald sends out Prasky to punt. Neblett awaiting the kick near the 10. Fair catch signaled for, and Neblett hauls it in at the 14-yard line. 37-yard punt, plenty of football. This is the best time of the year. Capital One Bowl Mania continues tonight as Western Michigan, P.J. Fleck and Company taking on the Air Force Academy in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, 5:45 Eastern tonight. Then South Alabama making their first appearance in the bowl game. It's set to take on Bowling Green in the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl beginning at 9:15 Eastern on ESPN. How about the job of Western Michigan coach Fleck and Company? The Broncos 1-11 last year. You see the turnaround, taking on an Air Force team that knows how to run the football. Cole Pearson and that high-scoring offense.
Troy Calhoun and guys won the Commander-in-Chief Trophy again, Air Force.
Tackle made by number 33.
But now if you're a fan of Illinois State football, you know what you're saying? All right, guys, let's play. An offense that averages 40 points a game in the third quarter has 6 points. The defense is starting to pick it up. They have a very good defense, but the offense has to catch up and put your defense in a position to win a football game for you. As long as you're down by 12, that's too much cushion for the opposing team's offense to operate.
Cameron Meredith in motion. Roberson looking his way and nearly threw the pick. Meredith hangs on to the football. Looked like Mensah had his hands on it, but the throw somehow got through.
Oh, he had a beat on this all the way. Roberson stared down the receiver, and then he missed on the inside. They tell you in the NFL, if you miss on an out route inside, it's a pick six going the other way. Mensah saw it. Look at him break on the ball. Ball was thrown behind him. But we talk about the hands of Cameron Meredith reaching back and snatching the ball out of Mensah's way.
It's a game of inches, isn't it? Roberson trying to hit the seam of the zone. Let's see if that's a catch. Neblett sliding down. They're going to say incomplete.
The curl is there, and Neblett's going down. Skipped off the turf right there. Good call.
This Ohio Valley Conference crew already working their 4th game in 4 weeks with this tournament. So So they are going to take another look, but as we saw in that first glance, this will be a real quick review.
Good job by Nesbitt getting his arms, trying to get his arms underneath, but you see right there the black beads of rubber kicking. That lets you know it's a good indication. Ball hit the turf first. I think you said it was going to be quick.
That was quick.
That might have been the quickest review I've ever seen.
This is only the third meeting all time for Illinois State against a member of the Colonial Athletic. You have to go all the way back to 1987 when they lost to Maine. 1-1 against the CAA, and tonight their offense has been bottled up. Roberson and the Redbirds trying to get something started halfway through this third quarter. Roberson dancing. Roberson getting chased by Kaplan and is forced to step out of bounds. Kaplan and his big footsteps chasing, and Anderson was ready to deliver the blow as well.
6-second burst. I mean, you can tell the motor, the engine, that's a philosophy they live by. If you make one miss, another one is there.
1999, the last time they've been this far in the playoffs. Lost to eventual national champion Georgia Southern. They won at the Inferno last week, and the Dungeon has been tough on this offense here in the semifinal. Movement all over the place, and this will cost Illinois State 5 yards.
5-yard penalty, third down.
The All-American Jermaine Barton. Guys like Barton, Avaloy, Lidke, Ammons, the veterans of this offensive line. New Hampshire rushes 3. Roberson with initial time, throws off his back foot, and it's jarred 3, incomplete. Shaughnessy could not hang on. Mensah coming through again with the hit.
It looked like it was going to be a fantastic throw by Roberson. As you mentioned, off his back foot retreating. Shaughnessy's coming around, he catches it, but great support by Mensah, number 31. He's going to come in and really dislodge this ball to ensure the catch was not made.
Yeah, you had Parkinson draped on the backside, and then the hit from Mensah to clear it. And Illinois State forced the punt. Laros with a running rugby style, high, shallow kick. Cefalo with the fair catch. So New Hampshire, this high-scoring offense, relying on the defense here in the semifinals. Wildcats still on top by 12. Top-seeded, top-ranked New Hampshire on top of Illinois State, 18-6. Jay, it's time. How about you give me a big 5 right now?
All right, how about 5 numbers you must know in FCS football? 124. That's the number of teams that play FCS football. 24, what's that number? Number of playoff spots they allow this year. 11 automatic qualifiers. Win your league, you get an automatic bid. 6, that's the number of titles won by Georgia Southern. And 0 is the most important one, I think, right now. No team has ever won 4 straight titles. The Bison from North Dakota State have a chance to truly be recognized as one of the greatest programs in FCS football.
First down give over the right side. Stiriti. David Perkins, the former Ohio State Buckeye, in on the stop. Number of championship appearances for both these schools. 0 as well. Could go right along with that. Both these teams hungry. New Hampshire tasted it last year. They were at the Fargo Dome. They scored the opening 7. Then the Bison ripped off 52 unanswered. Goldbridge a play fake. Pocket collapses. Perkins pursuing, and Goldbridge gets out of bounds. Donnelly with the shove.
Goldbridge with the run.
It's another one of those plays where good coverage in the secondary, defensive line has a chance to get a sack on Goldbridge, not able to tackle in the backfield. He picks up a couple of yards and makes it 3rd and short, maybe 4 yards, which is attainable. You have to give a lot of credit to Ryan Carter, the offensive coordinator for New Hampshire. I mean, he puts so much stress on the defense, and you know R.J. Harris is their go-to player, but the combination of Harris and Spears really puts him in a good position for success.
3rd down and short. Again, the pocket collapses. Goldbridge heaves it downfield, incomplete. Banks is the top cover corner for Illinois State. He has drawn Harris's assignment quite a bit today.
That's a good job with the double move on the coverage by Mike Banks. At 5'7", 185 pounds, he has not been afraid to mix it up with Harris, who has good size at 6'1", 200 pounds.
Banks, a Mount Carmel product out of University Park near Chicago. 2nd-team all-conference player. His father, veteran NFL side judge. Good kick by Praske. Neblett with the fair catch at the 16. Washington's defensive beast, Robert Upshaw, leads the undefeated Huskies against slick shooting guard Buddy Hield and the Oklahoma Sooners in the MGM Showcase. Number 15 Oklahoma, number 16 Washington tonight, 9 o'clock on ESPNU. Part of Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers. And you talk about offensive firepower. Both teams have snipers from the perimeter with Hield and Cousins, and then Andrews, what he has been able to do along the perimeter, along with Williams-Goss inside. Terrific matchup, Oklahoma-Washington tonight. Marshawn Coppridge entered this semifinal game with 13 consecutive 100-yard games. He has his work cut out, but they're going to need his running in the second half, in this 4th quarter, to try to get back into this thing.
And they really need to put some points on the board to make this a 1-score game, so the threat of Coppridge really becomes a factor. Right now, they are content with the lead, keeping everything in front of them. Very conservative play call by defensive coordinator John Lyons.
They pull a couple of linemen. Coppridge trying to follow the center, Mark Spellman, but this pursuit defense, the speed of New Hampshire right now, having their way with the offensive line from Illinois State.
It's just a great job of the 6-second burst, staying with the play. They're going to the outside. This is going to be a sweep. Everybody's going this direction. They're pulling linemen. There's no lane for him to run up. He's looking right now, looking outside. Relentless pursuit to the sideline. They're just bottling up Coppridge.
Moeller and Daniel Rowe with the pursuit. Illinois State has failed on their last 6 3rd downs. Will number 7 be the one? Pressure comes. Roberson down the seam, has his man. 1st down, Redbirds at the 35. Meredith with the catch.
One-on-one with Cameron Meredith, the skinny post, and if you put it around Meredith, he's going to come down with the catch. Nice inside release, stick it at the top, catch it with his hands. Too much cushion on the outside by Mensah.
4 catches, 57 yards today for Meredith, becoming just the 5th Redbird to hit 1,000 yards receiving in a season.
Illinois State bringing a fullback into the game, maybe trying to get some extra run protection.
Roberson, a play fake. Comes near side. Meredith, back-to-back catches. And then, boy, did he ever pay the price. Big time hit by Dougie Moss. He's played a whale of a game in the New Hampshire secondary.
Watch Meredith climb the ladder and easily make the catch. I mean, ball goes a little high, but leaps, catches it in his hands right away. And when you have good hands, you're able to absorb the blow because the catch becomes secondary.
See, the offensive production has slowed down considerably for Illinois State, a team that moved the football in the first half, just could not convert on 3rd downs, could not convert inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 45, another play fake. Roberson steps up, down the middle. Warren makes the catch at the 17. Anthony Warren. And the Redbirds are back inside the red zone.
Then give credit for Roberson, realizing the middle of the field was open. That means you have got an inside release. You should be there. Warren's going to body him up pretty good. and make the catch. That's a big island to put your cornerback on, asking him to cover that much field in the open space.
Quiet numbers this year for a guy that set all sorts of records in the state of Indiana at Heritage School. Big catch in a big moment. Busted play, it looked like, for Roberson. He'll just take it right over the center for 3. McNeely the stop from his middle linebacker spot. See if the Redbirds try to get one more play off. The clock winds down in quarter number 3.
Now, they've been here before. Can they get in sync and find a way to put a touchdown on the board compared to a field goal?
Roberson saying, let's wait for the 4th, guys. You notice Trey Roberson last year at this time with the Indiana Hoosiers, and now 15 minutes away from a trip to Frisco, Texas. Will it be New Hampshire into the playoffs for the 11th straight year, or Illinois State? Brock Spack and company. 4th quarter coming up next.
It is success.
North Dakota State wins the Division I football championship.
And succession.
Chris Kleiman, first season at the helm.
Change and continuity.
Touchdown!
What a play! It's carrying the torch and passing it and carrying it again.
And the tradition of the Bison lives on.
It is the definition of a dynasty.
15 minutes away from finding out who will try to slow down the dynasty that is North Dakota State. A trip to Frisco January 10th and a spot in the national championship game. The Bison last night joining just Eastern Kentucky and Youngstown State to reach the finals 4 times as Shaughnessy has it knocked away at the last second. Incomplete. Anderson again coming up with a timely play for the New Hampshire D.
Looking for a double move on the tight end. Shaughnessy, a little Dino route in the middle of the field. He goes up high, just not able to catch it cleanly and secure the football.
You see the numbers and the struggles for this Redbird offense. It goes beyond 3rd downs, 2 of 5 in the red zone, and that is the difference in this football game right now. In the Dungeons lair here in Durham, 3rd and 7. Roberson with time, moves the pocket, throws toward the end zone. Shaughnessy makes the catch. Over the last 3 years, when this offense has needed a clutch catch, number 80 has come through.
Great job, and Roberson able to buy some extra time because of the pass protection. Take a look at Coppridge, number 25. Watch him pick up a delayed blitzing linebacker, meet him in the hole, stops him in his track. That enables Roberson to stay in the pocket. Shaughnessy comes back to the football. You see there, throwing in tough situation, accurate throw. And the drive is still alive for Illinois State.
Moeller delivered the boom after Roberson let her fly. 1st and goal. Roberson a play fake. Couple of guys wide open. A dive and a catch for the fullback. What a grab by Brady Tibbetts.
2 receivers in the same spot. Tibbetts, who scored his first career touchdown a week ago versus Eastern Washington, surprises him again. He's wide open. Watch him lay out, secure the football, and make the catch. They're going to take a look at this, I'm pretty sure.
Touchdown. The play is under review.
And a critical review begins right here as we take another look.
And he catches it in his hands, pretty secure, but the ball clearly touches the ground, but does he have control of it? And it doesn't move, and the rule is, and I think because the official can see it, I mean, he leaves his feet, and I think that's a clinch. Ball doesn't move. If you have to ask me, I think they're going to overturn it.
I agree with
that's
you.
a lot of football on the ground. See, I thought he made a good job of making the catch. I think he has control of it. but that's a lot of football. And does it move a little bit?
Yes. Cannot use the ground to secure the ball, and terrific effort by Tibbetts. But I'm with you, Jay, on this one. I think there's enough visual evidence there showing the football.
But then I always go this, from watching that, can you say 100%? You're 100% positive he did not catch that ball?
No, you cannot.
And I don't know if you can say 100%. I think that's the key. If you're not 100%, you have to go with the call on the field, which was a touchdown.
So here's what the officials are seeing just a few moments ago. Game speed. And the question is, was there enough evidence there to overturn the call on the field, which is touchdown for Illinois State?
And like I said, when we slowed it down, that ball had a lot of turf on it. And they'll give you credit if you grip it and you've got it firmly and you can convince it that it's been caught. But in that case there, this is really a coin toss here. If they said they overturned it, I would understand. And if they say the play stands, I don't understand that. That's the subjective part of the replay.
It is an ACC official replay crew with us here this afternoon. Regardless of the call, that's a throw Roberson would want back. He had two guys wide open.
Yep. Too much lead on it. You know, you're always taught with tight ends and running backs coming out of the backfield, keep it close. Don't expect them to extend.
Big call in this game right here.
The pass hit the ground and therefore is incomplete. It'll be second down and goal to go on the 2-yard line.
And I like how they defined it. The pass hit the ground. I thought he clinched it for a moment, but mentioned a lot of turf underneath that football.
So Roberson and the Redbird offense back onto the field, second and goal. This has been tough churning in between the tackles against this fast and athletic New Hampshire D.
You have to run the ball downhill with Coppridge.
Coppridge lines up to Roberson. Replay untouched into the end zone. Illinois State back in it.
Coppridge with the run. Touchdown.
You had to. You have a 2,000-yard rusher on the season. They've done a good job of bottling them up, but on the 2-yard line, I think we would have seen 3 consecutive runs to Coppridge.
So this high-powered offense, averaging over 40 points per game, finally finds the end zone a long way from home. Ausicker adds the point after for Illinois State. A quiet game for Marshawn Coppridge, but that's when the stars come out. The spotlight of the fourth quarter, Coppridge. Illinois State pulls a little bit closer. New Hampshire by 5. A good look inside Cowell Stadium here, originally constructed back in 1936. Plans, though, in the near future to open up a brand new New Hampshire stadium, scheduled to open up prior to the start of 2016. New stadium lights, replacement of the general admission stands, a state-of-the-art press box and broadcast facility. Beautiful entryway to come in and watch some terrific football here at New Hampshire. It's going to be constructed around the existing complex where we're situated here tonight. In this long history of New Hampshire football in this venue, last Friday night's quarterfinal game was the first game ever played under lights. That was part of the current renovations to this stadium to at least get New Hampshire to be able to host some of these FCS playoff games. They won't have to worry about that moving forward in 2016 with that beautiful new facility.
That was something that Coach McDonald talked about, the ability to host games, not have to travel, no short weeks. They're moving in the right direction. The upward trend continues here in Durham, New Hampshire.
Athletic Director Marty Scarano in charge of bringing this athletic stadium to the campus by the summer of 2016. A cost of $25 million. They have already secured $5 million in private donations. The capacity right around 11,000. And then the unique part, just because of the enthusiasm here, a special student section, new media area, and some premium club seating. You talk to these players now on this roster, and they love this home, the Dungeon. It's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but it's been their home, and it's been a good one as far as wins and losses go. Trying to add one more, and there wouldn't be a bigger win in the Dungeon than this one tonight if they can hang on for the final 14. See the stretch, 42-4 since 2007, 14 consecutive here at Cowell Stadium for Sean McDonald's Wildcats.
How the feeling New Hampshire setting up Illinois State. They ran a little fake reverse and gave the ball to the running back. They're starting to use some of that misdirection. This is that time in the scouting report you have to say, watch the trick plays from New Hampshire.
They send Storetti in motion. It's a draw, and that fools nobody. Teddy Corwin, who has really stepped up his game. Nowinski singled this guy out. He's gained a lot of weight during the offseason, put on a ton of strength, and over the last 3 playoff games, he's been dynamite.
Just a recognition. They've been putting him in the right place all day, but this is a great individual effort coming down from his defensive end position. Teddy Corwin, the junior from St. Louis, Missouri. Interesting stat on him. He leads this Redbird defense with 3 interceptions on the year.
New Hampshire struggled all day. 2 of 10 on 3rd downs. The Redbird defense looking for a stop. They rush 5. Wide open. Harris makes the catch and a first down. There's the 3rd down conversion the Wildcats were hoping for.
It's just too much. You're asking a freshman in Drayshawn Glass, a freshman safety, to guard the #1 wide receiver in the country in the slot. You see Glass, he's there, but, I mean, come on. That's when R.J. Harris made that look easy. He almost had that attitude, you can't put a safety on me and not a freshman safety and expect you're going to stop me from running my route.
Top receiver at the FCS level. 6 catches, 68 yards, and a critical 3rd down conversion. Tough yards over the right side. Storetti gets 3, setting up a 2nd and 7.
And that was a big 3rd down conversion by New Hampshire, because you notice the defense for Illinois State have a little pep in their step now. The linebackers and the linemen, they're starting to feel like our offense woke up. It's our turn to start dominating the line of scrimmage again, but it was the secondary that let them down.
Second and 7 out of the pistol. Pressure comes. Goldbridge floats. Man has a step, and it's incomplete. Banks got there in the nick of time, and Harris still on the turf for New Hampshire.
And he was trying to readjust. Great job of separating. He got by Banks and Tevin Allen. Tells you the type of speed and moves he has. But you'll see towards the end of this, as he's trying to readjust for the football, gets spun around, that head goes directly to the ground. But both defenders in the trail position.
Remember, he was rolled onto late in the first half on a downfield block. The pile reached him. Went in, had his left ankle taped up, and tough to tell from that angle what jarred him, but he stayed down. It's a little wobbly situation maybe where he landed on the football too, Jay, and took the wind out of it.
This time of year, that's what you need. Listen to the crowd. You think they love their senior wide receiver? The R.J. Harris chants as he leaves the field.
The physical nature of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, will it take a toll on this New Hampshire team? DeAndre, questionable return in the secondary. The backup, Bayless, a quarterback out. We've seen Goldbridge pounded, and now for the 2nd time, Harris leaves the field. And another 3rd down for the junior Sean Goldbridge. Who do they go to with Harris out? Goldbridge dodges the pressure, but then he's tripped up and sacked. Keoshin with the sack back at the 48.
It looked like it was going to be similar to the first half where they missed tackles. Great pass rush. Look at the front four just getting it after the quarterback. Prate misses, but there was Keoshin to get the sack, and they finally were able to make the tackle on the quarterback in the backfield, forcing the Wildcats to punt.
8th sack of the season for Colin Keoshin. Kraske with a punt, angled toward the far side, and the master of that does his job again. He pins Illinois State deep. Redbirds will have the football, a chance to take the lead in the national semifinal. Things getting interesting here late in the fourth quarter. New Hampshire on top of Illinois State, 18-13. Sean Kinney alongside Jay Walker. And one of our themes coming into tonight, how would this rugged physical nature of Illinois State going through the grinds of the Missouri Valley Football Conference take its toll on New Hampshire? And we're starting to see that pay off a little bit late in this game.
I mean, that's why you want physical football teams, because what always shows up? A physical, strong-natured football team. Whether it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter, a team that likes to get physical. But the offense really helped jumpstart this. The defense was tired of being on the field. A couple huge completions from Trey Roberson to the wide receivers on the outside really enabled them to open up the lanes for the running game. And they started to feel it now in offense that averages over 40 points a game. They're starting to have a confidence about themselves. That spilled over into the defensive unit as well. And all of a sudden, this became a really, really tightly fought, contested game, and the intensity level went up 3 or 4 notches.
Marshawn Coppridge gets 11 yards. Looked like a hand got up high there. No flag as Coppridge kept the legs churning. Tough yards on what has been, for the most part, a tough day for Coppridge. He hasn't had a lot of daylight to pick and choose.
Look, tough rushing. They've tried to bottle him up all game long. You see he's well below his season average, but he doesn't care right now. Throw the numbers out the window. They need 6 points, a touchdown to take the lead, and he's going to give that extra effort.
From the 21-yard line, Coppridge gets 2. Winner of this game takes on North Dakota State, the Bison. Waiting patiently. Will it be New Hampshire? Will it be Illinois State? Remember, Illinois State and North Dakota State did not meet this year. The way the schedule laid out, they missed each other during the course of the regular season. Second and 9, Roberson with a pocket, down the middle, tipped away, incomplete. Good timing by Dougie Moss when it looked like Meredith had both paws on it.
Nice protection. Meredith's coming from the outside, going to run the crossing route. Gears down a little bit, ball a little bit behind, allowing the defensive back to come back in and make the play. I've really been impressed with the pass protection of Illinois State. In these situations, they do a good job of not allowing Trey Roberson to get hit.
Roberson with a 3rd down completion. Neblett makes the catch, and it silences the Dungeon.
He got lucky. I would say Roberson got lucky. He did not see Shane McNeely, number 51. But the linebacker, he's reading his eyes. He just doesn't break on the ball. Instead, he takes a defensive break and does not go for the interception, and that allows Neblett to make another huge catch for the Redbirds.
We talked about the struggles on 3rd down virtually all game for Illinois State. All of a sudden, they're getting hot. They've converted their last 3, and the Redbirds keep the drive alive. New Hampshire rushes 4. Throw near side is dropped. He was looking for Meredith. Coverage on the play by Mensah.
Wow, Meredith, 2 balls that we're so accustomed to him making the catch. That one was just an outright drop. Still surprised to see the number of first down pass plays being called by offensive coordinator Kurt Beathard in this situation. Right when Coppert seemed like he was starting to find a groove, they're going back to the airwaves.
Beathard in his first year as the OC here at Illinois State. Numerous stops before. Deep ball looking for Meredith. Not happening. Good coverage again by Patrick Mensah.
And we talk about the lack of carries from Coppert. You have to give credit to John Lyons, the defensive coordinator for New Hampshire. There has to be a reason they've completely gone away from Coppert running the football on first and second down.
Another critical third down on the road to Frisco for Illinois State. Shaughnessy has been the clutch guy, the tight end. The H-back to the left. Roberson looks, throws, caught near the chains.
There's the spot.
And this will all depend on the spot. Neblett hauled it in.
Oh, that's a close spot. Are they going to give it to him? Are they going to measure? I think this extra pump fake, good protection. I think that's a pretty accurate spot. You could say the ball was clearly on the 47-yard line.
Stretch of the chains and a first down for Illinois State. See the two receivers, Neblett and Meredith, the focus in their eyes.
That's a good job. The two seniors talking to each other, telling Meredith, forget about the drop pass. That's over with. We're going to win this game. We're going to fight hard. And that's what you expect from your seniors, to have that type of blind faith in each other.
Two critical third down conversions for Illinois State. They keep the drive alive from their own 47. This will be Coppridge with the touch, and he will plow onto the New Hampshire side. You like that call, don't you, Jay?
I do, more the conventional type, because the threat of Coppridge really forces you to adjust. Now, if New Hampshire gets over-aggressive and starts worried about Coppridge, then you have the quarterback that can throw the ball. But the basis of this offense should be, they have enough people in the box to stop Coppridge. But if they don't take away from him schematically with the numbers, see, right now the numbers say you throw the football. 7 guys around there, you look at throwing the ball.
It's a draw by Roberson, straight up the gut, and he shoots into the secondary. See you later. Trey Roberson, 47 yards. And just like that, Illinois State has their first lead.
This was a great job. What they're going to do is they're going to say, since we're losing the battle at the number count, we're going to use the running back as a lead blocker. Watch Coppridge come here and get the lead blocker, allowing Roberson to weave his way to the end zone. Great job using him as a lead blocker, distraction, downfield blocks, and the athleticism kicks in. And these guys from Chicago, they've been toughing it out all day, and you're starting to see it. Everybody downfield getting the block, inside techniques, white jerseys on blue jerseys, deep in the secondary, allowing Roberson to go untouched for that score.
Now, Illinois State leading by 1, a situation where you go for 2 here, and they have the PAT unit on the field, so they're going to have to burn a timeout. You know, it's a critical juncture. You want to make sure everybody's on the same page, but Brocksback clearly unhappy with the way his PAT unit went out onto the field in the moment. Know the circumstance.
Yeah, well, I think you know what happened was, normally you start looking down at the card or what it tells you to do, whether or not you go for 2 once you cross midfield. But Roberson scored so quickly, he was burst out of a canyon. It was like surprise, surprise on the long, explosive play.
Trey Roberson decided to transfer last June. He was not part of spring ball for Illinois State. He split time last year with Nate Sudfeld. Coming back from a broken leg in 2012. He was looking dynamite that year for Indiana. Broke his leg on a goal line quarterback keep against UMass. Missed the rest of 2012. Came back strong last year. Actually had the highest rating in the Big Ten. Just did not have enough attempts to qualify, and now he has guided this Redbird team to a 1-point lead, and they look for 2 here. Koprich is the back. Roberson on a read. He'll pitch it on the option, and the freshman, John Mark Anderson, crosses the line for 2.
That's huge, because we know about the lack of confidence in the kicking game from New Hampshire. So now a field goal will only tie it, but
Trey Roberson, in his first year in Normal, Illinois, the breakaway speed, the playmaker for the Redbirds. Illinois State with their first lead.
The 2014 NCAA FCS Football Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual, proud to be an official corporate partner of the NCAA.
We started the afternoon under clear blue skies in the Atlantic Northeast. Good look at the campus of the University of New Hampshire, but now on this all-important Saturday night, semifinal Saturday, a cool, crisp evening here in Durham. And it's Illinois State and their offense crisp in this fourth quarter. 15 unanswered, the latest coming from Trey Roberson.
It's been a gutty performance. I think Illinois State be the first day. They haven't had their A game, but they hung around just long enough. The defense held New Hampshire in check long enough for the offense to kick in, and they've dominated this fourth quarter.
The winner to take on North Dakota State, the Bison, have already sealed their ticket for the January 10th National Championship. Crossan on the return takes it out to the 27. The FCS Championship concludes in Frisco, Texas in 3 weeks, where a champion will be crowned. The championship game airs on ESPN2 January 10th at 2 p.m. For more information, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships.
That was not a good sight. R.J. Harris on the sidelines for this drive.
The injuries continue to mount. The weapons continue to decrease for New Hampshire. Who will step up? Will it be Nico Sturriddy?
Woo! It's a football game.
Sturriddy says, give me the ball.
This is a football game. Running backs trying to finish off runs, supporting cast, helping out. That was a gritty run by Sturriddy, but everybody got involved. The intensity level down on the field, you can almost cut it with a knife from up here. You can feel it.
You mentioned it. Everybody do their roles, even the stars. Koprich on the lead block for Roberson. Now it's Sturriddy. Here comes the blitz, and Goldbridge nowhere to go. He's swallowed up in the backfield, back at the 32-yard line. O'Shea Dunmore, the speedy linebacker, the Oregon Duck transfer.
He saw the blitz coming from the outside, decided the only chance to maybe gain positive yards would be if he called his own number. It was not there. I think right now in passing situations, you have to look for Harold Spears, the big tight end, right here in the slot, see if he can make a play for you.
Second and double digit. Goldbridge with a pocket, and he has his man.
Fumble.
Taylor, then he has a charge loose. Scramble continues. Let's see. Illinois State says they have it. And the officials start to umpire.
They're saying incomplete pass.
Yes. They're going to say an incomplete, that Keon Taylor did not have control.
I thought he made a couple moves with this football. Oh, that's a fumble. He was running with the football.
It's a catch and a strip.
And he left it on the turf. Oh, what a tough break. He clearly caught that ball, tucked it, and was running. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a fumble.
And I guarantee if you looked at it in slow motion, it would look even more so like he made the catch. Wow.
He tucked it, he had control, and it was McCoy with that right hand, that right arm.
Lucky break for New Hampshire. Let's see if they can capitalize.
They keep the drive alive. 3rd and 13. Goldbridge fires. Crossing pattern cart. Allison has enough for the first down. They needed 13, and that's how much Jared Allison picked.
That's New Hampshire. First down.
Good job by Allison running after the catch. Catches the ball well short of the first down, makes a couple of moves, and able to keep the drive alive.
From the 46-yard line, here comes the blitz again. They want the shovel, a dangerous pitch. You see Perkins ripping at the football. You saw Corwin as well as Storetti with those vice clamps clinging to the leather.
And you can see more aggressive play calls by Spence Nowinski, realizing they're probably going to run the ball because Harris is out of the game, and they were trying to strip the ball away clearly. But
look at this formation from New Hampshire. They have 3 interior linemen, then the 2 tackles spread out at the bottom of the screen, and it's Storetti trying to weave a little magic. He gets 3. Ryan Carty, the offensive coordinator, just part of their everyday routine. You just don't know what to expect.
I like the call because all they're doing, they say if we go to a different formation, most defenses play zone coverage behind it. But if you have a team playing zone, you just assign them certain portions of the field. Hard-nosed runner like Storetti will run hard and make one person miss. So although it looks a little deceptive, it's organized confusion is what they try to do to get advantages in the running game.
For the second time this year, Storetti has crossed the 100-yard mark with that last carry.
Look at this, man-to-man coverage across the field. Now they're checking out of it, going to a zone, so now you should be able to run the ball.
It's a read. Goldbridge kept it, and he's tripped up by Perkins at the line of scrimmage, setting up 4th down.
You should be able to run the ball unless you're trying to outrun the in-man on the line of scrimmage, and that is David Perkins. You're going to see Perkins. He's down here in a 3-point stance. He plays outside linebacker at times, and look at the recognition, the way to get off the block and get the tackle in the backfield. 6'2", 225-pound junior transfer from the Ohio State, as we mentioned earlier, with a fantastic play.
New Hampshire has been perfect on 4th down tonight. Play of the game right here.
They're bringing pressure.
Screen, it's caught, but shy of the first down. Teddy Corwin, the tackle, and the Illinois State defense delivers again.
Group effort. They showed the blitz early, and they said we're going to blitz, so they call a blitz play, blitz beater on offense, wide receiver screen, trying to get some blocks, but just a great job once again by Banks, coming underneath the attempted block by Jared Allison. Look at Banks, number 24 on the top, follows him, gets enough on him, and allows Teddy Corwin to come in and wipe it off. That's a great play by Mike Banks.
And let's not forget, Jay, instead of Taylor, normally that's a play for R.J. Harris. So Illinois State will start to go to work on the clock with 4:08 to play. Coppridge, good yardage as they stay on schedule. He picks up 4.
Illinois State was here a week ago, and when everything says it's time to run the ball, they will not do it. They will take what the defense gives you. So if New Hampshire decides to put extra blockers or extra tacklers in the box, they will throw the ball. That's their personality. They've had success doing it. It's take what the defense gives you and take advantage of it. So I think the first thing you have to do is count the number of defenders we see close to the line of scrimmage.
The senior class for New Hampshire, the winningest class in this proud program. Can they dial up a stop here? Coppridge, nowhere to go. He runs into a wall as we check in with the gang back at the studios.
Yeah, guys, we got college basketball coming up next. Travis Trice and Michigan State taking on Texas Southern. You see the tip time. If that tips before we're done with the football game, it will start on ESPN News and move over to ESPNU when we're done in New Hampshire, guys.
Thanks, guys. Sean Kinney alongside Jay Walker, the FCS semifinal, and this one has lived up to all the talk. Illinois State 15 unanswered here in the fourth quarter. They have taken the lead on New Hampshire. This team has been unbeatable here at the Dungeon. You have to go back to 2012. A loss to Townsend. 14 consecutive wins for Sean McDonald's squad, the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. And now he's looking at his defense to try to give his offense the football one more time.
I think the quick summary is the #1 team in the country is on the ropes right now. Down by 3 at home with a trip to Frisco, Texas in the balance.
North Dakota State is in. The Bison waiting to see. 3rd down and 5 for Roberson. He's going to use his legs, couple of pullers, and Roberson picks up the 1st down. Kept his balance, catapulted ahead, and a critical 3rd down conversion for the Redbirds.
You ever play flag football? This is what they call sweep right. They're going to bring the entourage of blockers here, and all you're going to see is Roberson set up, the pulling center and the guard. That's a staple in flag football, and they just ran it at a crucial time in this football game.
Lidke, Avaloy, Spellman, the first-year starter at center. Ammons and Barton, the All-American at right tackle. From the 42 for Illinois State. Kopperich, a change of direction, zigzagging his way for 2. New Hampshire can stop the clock one more time. So we get down to 2.5 to play.
I think a lot of credit has to go to Matt Kaplan and Rashid, our man from the defensive line for New Hampshire. They've wanted to run Kopperich, but nothing's been there. In the middle, the interior defensive line play has been tremendous. Julian Turner, number 92. They've done a good job, the interior line, of really shrinking those running lanes for Kopperich.
They use all of the clock as Kopperich gets 4. Brought down by Mensah.
He was close to breaking that one too.
Yes, he was. And New Hampshire will use their 3rd and final timeout with 1:58 to go. The Wildcats need a stop when we come back to Durham. Illinois State on top by 3 late here in Durham. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon on ESPNU, scoring threat Wesley Saunders and the dangerous Crimson look for a breakthrough victory against Tony Bennett's undefeated Cavaliers, Harvard, and number 6 Virginia. Sunday, 12 noon on ESPNU, part of Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers. Coming up next, college basketball, Texas Southern taking on number 25 Michigan State. Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers. Play of the game right here. Illinois State, 3rd and 4. New Hampshire cannot stop the clock. Kopperich, the Missouri Valley Football Offensive Player of the Year, stretches ahead. Does he have enough?
I thought he had the 1st down. I think this is a 1st down, and if so, task at hand for the home team just got a lot tougher with no timeouts remaining, less than 2 minutes.
A record-setting year for Kopperich, a season that saw him rush for over 2,100 yards. It comes down to inches here for Kopperich. Will this be the all-important yard? And it looks like it's the yard that will send Illinois State to Frisco, Texas.
You think they know how close they are to making reservations in Frisco, Texas?
This is a guy, Kopperich, who did not receive any scholarship offers, not even any serious looks from any of the big-time colleges. But he has found a home in Normal, and now we take another look.
And this is important right here. I mean, you see right here, clearly they have to get to, I'd say right there, the 32-yard line. And where do they go? They're taking a look at the spot right now. Whoa.
He's well shy of the 32.
Whoa, yeah, and the knee is down.
Knee down there.
So let's take a look and see if
ball spotted
that knee is down on the
33.
ground.
And if that's the case, this thing will get moved back.
They're going to move it back
to the 33-yard line, which would set up a 4th and short for Illinois State. So hold the fort right here.
And that's the thing, you know, review, I always say, as long as they get it right, because the teams, the coaches, the players work so hard during the week to prepare for these games that you want them to get the calls right. And if they were short, they were short. And I think it's going to be a pretty good indication that this may be coming back, and this place is probably going to explode if they hear that news.
After review, the runner was down 1/2 yard prior to the line of game. It'll be 4th and 1/2 yards on the 32 and 1/2. The clock will start on the ready for play signal.
Does the Dungeon have one last trap to spring here?
Whoa. Premature celebration, but if you're Illinois State, get back focused really quick. You run the football better than most teams in the country. You've got the #1 rusher in the country. You need 1/2 yard to secure your destiny of going to Frisco, Texas to take on fellow Missouri Valley Football Conference foe, North Dakota State.
New life for New Hampshire. Those seniors up front. Saccone, Muller, Kaplan, the down tackle. It comes down to this. 4th, less than a yard. Tippett in at fullback. They give it. Coppridge, 1st down, Illinois State. No doubt there. And the Redbirds seal it.
What about the confidence to put a fullback in the game, show your hand, deep handoff exchange. And Coppridge able to find a crease. Good job by number 77, Cal Avaloy, the left guard, sealing the hole with sprung Coppridge. You know, this is a bit of a statement game. You know, and I say that because for years the dominant conference in all of FCS football was the CAA, in which New Hampshire's a part of. The schools like Villanova, Delaware, so much success, New Hampshire, Maine. And there's slowly but surely been a shift in the balance of power, with North Dakota State leading the way, emerging with the Missouri Valley this year, getting more teams in than anybody else. And I talked to Coach Spack when we started this playoff run, and I said, you didn't play North Dakota State during the season. Wouldn't it be something if you all finally had that game this year down in Frisco, Texas? He said, that'd be something. Well, you asked for the Bison, you're getting the Bison. Congratulations to Illinois State.
Brock Spack, in his 6th year, gets the Gatorade treatment. A shake of the hands with this year's Eddie Robinson Award winner, Sean McDonald. And for the first time in school history, Illinois State marches into the national championship game.
It's been a record-setting season for them. They set a record for school wins during the regular season. They set a record for school wins all time in the season, and now they're going to the first championship game in appearance in school history.
3 weeks ago, we started with 24. Just get into the fray. The recommendation from longtime North Dakota State coach Craig Bull back in 2012 to Brock Spack. The physicality, the nature of the Missouri Valley Football Conference will get you there. Just get into the fray, and that's what Illinois State has done. 15 fourth-quarter points. The Redbirds rally. It's Illinois State, North Dakota State for the national championship. Now to the studio with Matt Schick and Adrian Branch. Good night from Durham, New Hampshire.